at Christmas time, I thought, you know, I think I was going to take somebody shopping. Just go out and spoil some kid.
It becomes such an emotional experience. You're overwhelmed by how happy they are and how appreciative they are. And just seeing little kids excited at Christmas is just the best thing ever.
It's just the fact that we're helping the community, and also that you see the kids smile.
They all got to pick what they wanted, and that they love their gifts that they're able to receive, because they wouldn't have been able to have those had Don's Mobile Glass not, provided the shopping tour.
As I was doing this, I was always in hope that maybe one or two of these kids that are on this tour will see there's another world out there and reach out and try to grab it.
It's not charity, it's people being good neighbors.
Christmas is a time of joy, happiness, and sharing. We decorate the Christmas tree with beautiful ornaments and bright lights, fill stockings with sweets and small trinkets, waiting to feast grandly in the comfort of our homes with loved ones. This tradition has been enjoyed for hundreds of years, but over 40 million Americans cannot afford this luxury because their families live under the poverty level. Luckily, companies like Don's Mobile Glass and their sponsors are lending a helping hand to the community by extending Christmas cheer to all. For over 42 years, the Christmas Shopping Tour has sponsored hundreds of children by taking them shopping and providing for them an unforgettable Christmas experience.
I'm Crystal Pace, and I'm the marketing manager for Don's Mobile Glass. The shopping tour got started by Don Monaco. He used to work with the Salvation Army, and he saw that there was a need from the kids that were stationed there during Christmas time, so he decided to take a few of them out to dinner and to the mall and to buy a few things for Christmas, and it just sort of grew from there.
Yeah, 40 years ago, I took a couple of kids. I took 3 of them from the Salvation Army. I was on the board, and I was able to get 3 of them and took them out shopping, had a good time. As time went by, people heard about it, and this is the 42nd year. But I think this year we have 71 children, so 71 sponsors. That's one of the things I'm proud of the company continued, and they've done a lot of good things.
I'm Steve Mort, and I'm the president of Don's Mobile Glass. Well, I joined Don in 1978 for my first shopping tour, and several friends of Don, Bart Bartoni, Joe Benet, myself, and a few others, took probably 8 or 10 kids shopping that night, and then out to dinner afterwards. Today we've got 70 kids approximately, and a lot of our friends, the Key Club, CapEx, those type of organizations, the Modesto Kiwanis Club, supporting the event and helping us accommodate all of those children.
Hi, my name is Bart Bartoni. I've been doing the shopping tour with Don Monaco since the very beginning, one of the first ones. Don and I have been friends since about 1948, somewhere around there. And I've enjoyed it every year. I thought it was a great idea. I just thought it was a great idea. In fact, I wanted to go in partners with him. He said, no, he said, I can handle it. But no, I thought it was a great idea because I, like Donnie, was in our minds successful at that time. We weren't wealthy by any means, but we were very successful. And I thought we should share it with someone, like a young kid like that. So that's how we got started, or how he got started, and I went along with it.
One of the the sponsors that has helped me personally to really make this event happen has been John Field. He organizes his own shopping tour kind of within the shopping tour. He helps us to take maybe 20 to 25 kids every single year. And he works with Downey High School and Beyer High and all the key clubs throughout the Modesto City School District to help manage all of the kids that he takes. And without his help, we would really be searching for more sponsors.
My name is John Field. I'm an Kiwanis member. I've been a Kiwanis member since 1974. And my name of my Kiwanis Club is Kiwanis Club of Modesto. And I'm also an advisor for the key clubs here in Modesto. The key clubs that I advise are Beyer High School, Johansson High School, and Downey High School. And I'm also one of the sponsors for the children's shopping that's going to happen with Don's Mobile Glass. The Kiwanis Club is a service organization that's international. And as a service organization, our main objective is to help the children in our communities and in the world. One of the things that we do that is by helping the Key Club. And the Key Clubs are their own organization at the schools. They have their own students that are helping in the community by raising money and doing service projects to also help the kids.
Well, the shopping tour is our baby. Don started it. We've evolved over the years. All of our stores collect money all year round through their some fundraising efforts. They accumulate any excess funds and they use that toward the shopping tour.
Don's Mobile Glass is deeply rooted in the Modesto community. The company's founder, Don Monaco, built the company on a foundation of being a good neighbor and community engagement. These principles continue to be carried out by Don's Mobile Glass and its employees.
Don Monaco's been involved with the Salvation Army and active within the Modesto community since the 60s and 70s.
In 1959, I lost my job, had no money, and I would go to used car lots and sell a glass job and make a couple of bucks. I decided if I had a truck, that I could carry the glass with me. It was a UPS partial truck, and I got a grinder and built a tool bench and made it look kind of cute, and I called it Don's Mobile Glass at that point unit.
I started with Don in 1978 as the office manager. When I started, we had 17 employees, and today we've got 160. We have 6 stores and a manufacturing division. And so each one of the stores will sponsor 1 or 2 kids, and they'll use that money that they've collected over the year to pay for that.
We start with asking the schools for their most deserving kids, and they give us a list of like 6 or 7 per school. Then as sponsors respond, then we have to match up the number. So sometimes we need more sponsors, sometimes we need more kids, and then we have to go back to the school and get permission slips signed and match them up again. So it's a continual matching process to make sure that we have enough sponsors to kids. We actually work with a lot of local companies, for example, with Warden's Office and CapEx, Enterprise, and some of our sponsors like Joe Benet and Bart Bartoni have been doing it for 30 plus years.
Last year, the shopping tour collected over 500 books with the help of Barnes & Noble in Modesto. In addition, Pat Glatke from the Modesto Kiwanis Club collected around 200 books to donate to the shopping tour. Thanks to them, each of the sponsored children will be able to take a book home this year.
My name's Charles Sexton, and I'm the director for this film. The amount of work that Don's Mobile Glass puts into the shopping tour every year is astonishing. What these people go through to actually put this program on, all of, keeping track of the students, developing the relationship with the teachers and teachers' aides, developing the relationship with the schools, reaching out to parents. They put in so much groundwork just to provide this service to our community. That's huge. That's absolutely huge. And it's all built on the foundation of giving directly. This is an organization that looked at their local community and saw a need and filled it.
You know, there's one thing that I keyed on a long time ago was when you give money to a charitable operation, wherever it might be, you know, there's 1,000 of them. If you give money to them, they have to have an office, they got employees, they got expenses. And a long time ago I went, you know, I want to go right directly to the kid and bypass all of the bureaucracy in it. I did that, I did the same concept, and I'm thinking about doing it again, but I'm kind of running out of energy. Our troops in Vietnam was going real heavy whenever I was building. So, you know, of course you want to help support your government. So what I did, rather than just give money to the Army or that, I built gift boxes, and I would just load a gift box up, and it was no big deal. It was just a box like that. How that started was, I got a letter from somebody on a Don's Mobile Glass scratch pad in Vietnam, and it says, "Boy, this is handy. You know, my friend had one, and we're hurting on paper here." So what I did is I just got a whole bunch of it and put it in a box, and I put pencils and whatever you would think that a serviceman would need, and I sent it to him, and I sent him a big box of scratch pads. I started getting letters on scratch pads. Boy, thanks for sending this, because my name and address was on it, you know, and so I bypassed the Salvation Army and Goodwill. It just went directly to the people. I feel the same with the shopping tour. The shopping tour, we eliminate everything, and what we're doing goes directly to the kid.
With the help and generosity of numerous dedicated sponsors and volunteers from the community, more and more children get the opportunity to go shopping and are treated to dinner, gifts, and entertainment each year. These children are selected with the help of their teachers and the Salvation Army in order to ensure that the students selected are truly in need.
There's no one closer to the kids of this community than their teachers. So we rely on the teachers to work with their school district and select the most deserving kids. They know because they're in the classroom and they see them every day. And so they choose the kids that they know their families might be struggling a little bit, especially during the holidays. And that's how we get the names of the kids who will go. And we work really hard to make sure that it's a new experience for every child, and that they're matched appropriately based on sponsors who live close to them.
I'm Don Jackson, and I'm principal at El Vista Elementary. We pretty much know the students from the year before, but by October, you pretty much have an idea of the students that are in need. And I start with my counselors here at school, and we create a list from them, the recommendations that they have. And if there are any other students beyond that, I'll go to the classroom teachers and fill out a list of students that are in need.
We have students who we might know their background, specifically maybe have encountered some recent challenges in their family, and a lot of times our students don't speak up directly to us, and that's why the teachers have the best relationship with them. And so with the teacher in the middle, it allows them to say, can you reach out to the student or their family and see what's going on? And then we'll make that phone call and invite them to come in and hear about the program, and then leave it up to the parents to sign the students up. And in most cases, they will take that opportunity and sign their student up for this experience.
Throughout the year, we work together with the staff to see the kids that come in and who are those that are most in need. Last year, as a matter of fact, we had 2 siblings that went, and I think they were maybe a little bit embarrassed at first because they kept telling me, oh no, we have lots of clothes, we have lots of clothes. But I would see from the summer when they started coming, we would notice that their shoes were torn, or one of the little boys would always wear the same shirt with the same hole, and so we knew it was the same shirt. And he would say, oh no, I have other ones like this, you know. And so when Christmas time came, I said, those are gonna be the first 2 that we picked to go. So the very next day they run up to us, we don't even have to ask. The very next day after school they come and they show us all their new all their new items. Every so often there'll be one that says, no, I'm not allowed to wear it until Christmas. But The rest of them, for the most part, they're just super excited to have, whatever it is that they have new, whether it's shoes or a backpack or a jacket or, their whole outfit. But they'll come and they'll model it for us and they'll say, this is what I got, and we got to have dinner and we saw Santa Claus and, the singing, and so they fill us in on everything.
I got a Pokemon shirt. Cool. Some Vans and
I had a lot of very memorable moments with some of the kids were just really wonderful. We used to go to school as always to pick up the kids, and this one little boy we picked up was a Hispanic kid, just the sweetest little guy in the world, and he was all like this, humped over. He's just shy, real shy. So anyway, we went shopping, and I bought him a jacket, and I bought him sweaters and pants and a pair of shoes, good working shoes, so to speak, a bunch of stuff. And while I'm checking out the checkout stand, he's looking and studying this thing, and so I went over. I says, "Jose," I says, "what are you looking at?" And he says, and I said, "Well, you're looking at something." He says, "Those boots." Cowboy boots again. Well, at that time, Donnie and I and a lot of people were wearing cowboy boots and Levi pants all the time, even in our business. And so I said, "You really like those boots?" And he says, "Yeah." So I said, "Try them on." He tried them. I said, "Okay." So they fit him, so I bought them. And it just thrilled me to death because a kid, I could see how it just improved his feelings and all. I really loved it. It put tears in my eyes. And but that was probably one of the most memorable moments. But I've had a lot of good ones with them. Really, most every year I've really truly enjoyed it, and I really felt like we're accomplishing something.
The very first time I went on the shopping tour was 1987. And we had a brother and sister, and they were darling. I remember their names, Cac and Bob. And we took them to the mall. And the first thing I asked Cac was, "What would you like?" Two things special. And she said, "I want some warm gloves and a teddy bear." And so she got her gloves and her teddy bear and her clothes, and she was the sweetest thing, and she had bangs down to here. And her little brother was 6, and he's the one that was going down the escalator, and his eyes, he was a little teeny guy, lit up, and he was holding Don's hand, and he said, "My dad told me about this place, but I've never seen it." And it just brought tears to your eyes. And they were just darling. All the kids are so sweet. It's really, really touching for the Christmas holiday. It's very nice.
Don's Mobile Glass has done a good job of organizing this event, putting it together once again this year. Great event this year, and the best thing about it is all the little kids are smiling. That's what I love to see, is all the smiles on the little kids. Very nice.
I remember one particular family when we took the kids home, and of course we take the presents inside with the kids and meet the parents, and the family really didn't have anything. They didn't have a kitchen table, a couple beds on the floor, and that's how the family lived. And you realize that these kids are probably the only thing they're going to get this Christmas is the presents that we brought them. So it just reinforced the need in the community to help these kids.
I like being able to give back directly instead of giving my money to a big organization and hoping it gets to the right people. So in the past we did the giving trees at the mall and that kind of thing, so the kids could be involved. And then a friend of mine, Andy Maldonado, has been doing this for years, and she was talking about it. So Maggie and I talked about it, and we thought it would be a good thing to do, mom and daughter.
I like meeting the kids. It's really fun. And they tell me their name, and then we kind of have a little chat in the car until we go to the mall.
One little girl, we got to get her boots. And I think, hadn't she said to us, she never had like her own shoes. Like she was the first kid to wear the shoes. So that was huge. And like that little girl, what I remember, our friend Andy had her older sister, but we specifically went separate. So they each got to pick what they wanted, and they didn't have to refer to anybody else. And well, I'm gonna get underwear, so you get socks, or they could get and that's what we kept saying. No, this is just for you. What do you need? What do you want?
Hi, America.
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
What was your favorite thing we got tonight?
The dress.
The dress. We got a black and white with pink hearts.
Yeah.
That was my favorite thing she got too. We had a great year. It was another great year. Thanks, Don's Mobile Glass.
Whenever I was in 6th grade, I was one of the lucky children to actually be selected for the tour. Whenever the sponsors came and picked me up, it was a mom and daughter, right? Her daughter was older than me. She was actually already in Loma. I think she was in 8th grade, and I was in 6th grade. And most of our conversation was like, hey, what can I expect? Middle school's a big step for someone of that age. Like you haven't been to 6 classes and stuff like that. What was funny too is during the car ride, the mom was so accommodating that she was talking with me, and she was like, so where do you want to go? She pretty much gave it up to me. And I was like, oh, well, hey, I'm okay with like going to Walmart, or I'm okay if we go to Walmart, we go to Kmart. She was like, no, that's all right. So the first place she took me was out to the mall. And at that age, the mall is a popular place to go. I had 2 older sisters. That was like their life at one point. But it was weird because even though I had been there, I never shopped there. I never had anybody buy me clothing from the mall. I never had anybody buy me anything from there. I'd been there a bunch of times, but that was like a completely different experience. On the car ride home, I don't know if I put like a really good impression on the mom or something like that, or if she really liked me. But she was like, you know what, Charles, like, if there's anything else that you want, we'll definitely get it for you. What else do you want? And I was starting to come down from the high of being, shopping for me and buying all these Christmas gifts and stuff like that. And I was like, can we go to the store and possibly buy my little brother something? And she started crying. Like I'll never forget it. She actually had a tear in her eye when she was like, yeah, of course we can. So we then went to, I think we went to Walmart, and we bought my brothers, both my little brothers, we bought them some like Nerf guns, some action figures. And so they got the toys, but I got the clothes.
From the summer when they started coming, we would notice that their shoes were torn, or one of the little boys would always wear the same shirt with the same hole, and so we knew it was the same shirt. And he would say, oh no, I have other ones like this, And so when Christmas time came, I said, those are gonna be the first 2 that we picked to go. And I knew that they were going from home to home because the mom had talked to us about it, that they were having a hard time. And so when they went, they had such an awesome time. And when they came back, he just hugged us and said, how excited he was. And the mom too. She came and she gave us a big thank you and said, she was very grateful that we chose her kids because they didn't have anything and they were on their way moving to a different house and they had lost all their stuff. So they were very grateful. And even though we didn't get to take them shopping, but because we were a part of it and we got to pick them, that in itself was a huge blessing. So yeah, so we're grateful to be a part of this.
In 2016, nearly 1 in 5 Californians lived within the poverty line. Due to low wages and the amount of seasonal jobs in the Central Valley, the working poor face numerous obstacles that make it difficult for many of them to save up money to provide the luxuries they would like.
It became clear to us that there was a huge population in the Modesto area that was underserved. And by working through the counselors at each one of the elementary schools that we work with, we're able to find all of the children that we could possibly help.
Well, I worked at Orville Wright Elementary, like I said, for 16 years, and that's the lowest socioeconomic neighborhood in the city. So you would think, you could think, oh, Bret Harte or the west side, south side, whatever, but the airport neighborhood was absolutely the lowest. And so those kids were super appreciative and super in need. And I think what makes it really successful is that the kids that end up going are picked by the staff basically at the school. They're all hand-picked, and it's been that way since I've been involved with it. So the kids that go are truly the kids that are in need, and it's tailored individually to the kids. The need in our area isn't getting less. It's growing, and Modesto City Schools we're an inner city school district. This is not that small town that Modesto used to be, and so the need for this in this area is just growing and growing. So at my site, where we used to, even 4 years ago when I took over, we were maybe 82% free and reduced lunch, and now we're like 97.
Because it is California, we have a very high cost of living. And in Modesto, there's a lot of agriculture jobs, there's a lot of manufacturing jobs, a bunch of seasonal work around here. And unfortunately, seasonal work leads to, during the wintertime, a lot of people get laid off. And there's a lot of parents that unfortunately can't provide a lot of luxuries for their children over the Christmas time. That's why programs like the Don's Mobile Glass Shopping Tour are so important, because it gives some relief to the parents.
Any community could really benefit from a program like ours. We're just focusing on what we've grown up with and what we know. But if you took the time to look into any city, you're going to find kids there that could really benefit from a shopping tour, or benefit from people outside of their normal circles to really take the time and put the effort into making something special for them. So if you look hard enough, you're going to find the need in virtually any community. We've just been able to focus it here because we've been established here for so long.
Many working poor don't qualify for government help because they earn too much to be considered officially poor.
We have the same problem. We got as many homeless here as they do in Timbuktu. And as long as there's people like myself and you to try to do the best we can, we're not going to be able to cure it. It will never be cured. You could go to any town, and if you'll get somebody with a burn in their tummy, they could create this. It just takes 40 years.